Once upon a time, in a distant land, there lived two adorable cat friends named Snowy and Sunny. Snowy was a graceful cat with soft, snowy white fur, while Sunny, with his bright yellow coat and warm gaze, brought cheer wherever he went. Although they led very different lives, the strong bond between them made those differences seem unimportant. One morning, Snowy woke up and felt a rush of excitement. Today was her birthday. She wanted to share this special day with her best friend, Sunny. Without hesitation, she reached for the phone with her paw and dialed Sunny's number. After a few rings, she heard Sunny's familiar voice on the other end. "Hello, Snowy?" Smiling, Snowy said, "Sunny, today is my birthday. Would you like to come over and celebrate with me?" "Of course, my friend," Sunny replied joyfully. "I wouldn't miss your birthday for anything." Sunny paused for a moment, deep in thought. He didn't know what to get his best friend as a gift. Many ideas crossed his mind, but none of them felt quite right. He remembered the wonderful times he shared with Snowy. She always made him feel happier. However, the reality was that he didn't have much money, and that weighed heavily on his heart. As a cat, he didn't have much to spend beyond the occasional playtime and adventures. Sometimes, he could barely save enough for a few cans of fish, but beyond that, he simply didn't have enough to buy his friend a proper gift. "If only I could find something special for her," he thought to himself. The disappointment he felt only deepened his resolve to find a way to make Snowy happy. He wanted to give her something that showed his love and gratitude for the friendship she offered him. Suddenly, an idea struck Sunny like a flash of lightning. The sadness that had been weighing on him transformed into a hopeful excitement. "If I don't have money for a gift, then I can give her my most treasured possession," he thought. In the corner of his toy box sat his beloved old and worn-out doll. This doll held countless cherished memories, especially because it had been a gift from his mother on his birthday. Although it had faded over time and its seams were coming apart, it was priceless to Sunny. Sunny dashed over to the doll and gently picked it up with his paw. "I'll give this to Snowy," he murmured to himself. This gift felt infinitely more valuable than anything money could buy. The thought of how much his friend would love this toy filled his heart with joy. He realized that the true value of a gift came from the love behind it, not the price tag. Sunny, after carefully cradling the doll, began searching the house for a gift box. He dashed around, rummaging through drawers, and finally stumbled upon an old gift box. Though the edges were a bit worn, he knew it would hold a beautiful surprise inside. He gently placed the doll into the box. "This will be the perfect gift for Snowy," he thought, recalling all the memories they had shared together as he nestled the doll inside. Then, he closed the box and tied it with a lovely ribbon. Sunny left a note on top of the box. "Dear Snowy, this gift is a symbol of our friendship. I hope it reminds you how much you are loved," he wrote. With a heart full of joy, he felt a flutter of excitement. This gift would express his love for his friend in the best way possible. Sunny didn't realize how quickly time had passed after preparing his gift. Excitement bubbled within him. He didn't want to be late for his friend's birthday celebration. His heart raced as he grabbed the box and dashed out of the house. As he opened the door, the warm sunlight greeted him. He hurried through the streets, focused solely on one thought: making Snowy happy. As he ran toward his friend's house, he couldn't help but smile the entire way. Passing through the trees, he felt the breeze gently caress his fur, but all he could think about was the expression of joy he wanted to see on Snowy's face. He quickened his steps, clutching the gift tightly, and continued to race toward his best friend's door. As Sunny approached his friend's house, he hesitated for a moment. It was his first time visiting Snowy, and he felt a twinge of shyness. In front of him stood a massive, luxurious home. A gleaming car was parked out front. Its finish sparkled in the sunlight, and Sunny couldn't help but admire it as he passed by. The difference between this house and his own was striking. Sunny's home was modest, while this place resembled a palace. The large windows, elegant garden, and stone walls captivated him. Pausing in front of the door, he wondered, does Snowy really live here? A mix of curiosity and nervousness bubbled within him. As he admired the details of the house, a warmth filled his heart. He was delighted to think of his friend living in such a beautiful place. "This is so lovely," he whispered to himself. Taking a deep breath, he decided it was time to knock on the door. He hoped that inside this luxurious home was a world filled with love and friendship. As Sunny approached the door, her excitement grew exponentially. Just as she was about to knock, the door swung open unexpectedly. Standing before her was a politely dressed servant in a smart uniform. Sunny felt as if she had stepped into a movie scene. The servant smiled and said, "Welcome, young lady. Snowy is expecting you." Sunny's heart raced at the warm welcome. The servant's graceful demeanor and friendly smile eased her nerves, while the grandeur and luxury of the house had initially intimidated her. This kind greeting dispelled all her worries. The servant opened the door wider, inviting Sunny inside. "Please, come in. Snowy is waiting for you in the living room," the servant said. As Sunny walked through the doorway, guided by the gentle hand of the servant, she felt her heart warm even more. "This place is truly beautiful," she murmured. Being in a house with such a courteous servant both thrilled and delighted her. As she stepped further inside, she couldn't help but wonder how Snowy would greet her. As Sunny stepped inside, she saw the table beautifully set for the birthday party. Colorful balloons decorated the room, and delicious treats lined the table. Many of Snowy's friends had arrived, chatting joyfully. Sunny felt a bit shy in the crowd. She was seeing these friends for the first time and wasn't sure how to act. When it was time for the cake, all of Snowy's friends gathered around her. The cake, adorned with bright candles, seemed to light up everyone's face with excitement. Snowy stood in front of it, surrounded by friends who eagerly looked on. Everyone's eyes were fixed on the little candles as Snowy closed her eyes for a moment, silently making a wish. She opened her eyes, took a deep breath, and with a single blow, extinguished all the candles. Cheers and applause filled the room as Snowy beamed at her friends. One by one, they began handing her their gifts, each unwrapping bringing laughter and joy. Sunny clutched her small gift tightly, waiting her turn. When it was finally her moment, she extended her present with slightly trembling hands. As Snowy opened the box, Sunny watched her friend's reaction with a pounding heart, filled with anticipation. As Sunny handed her gift to Snowy, the other kids in the room leaned in with curiosity. Everyone was excited to see what might be inside the small package. All eyes were fixed on Snowy's fingers as she carefully unwrapped the gift. It was as if everyone was holding their breath. As Snowy lifted the lid of the box, she found an old, somewhat worn-out doll inside. The doll, with its faded clothes and a few stitches here and there, looked well-loved but aged. Holding the doll in her hands, a flicker of disappointment crossed Snowy's face. The other children, gathered around to see the gift, noticed her expression too, and Snowy felt a bit let down by the unexpected simplicity of the present. Sunny, seeing the look on her friend's face, felt a pang of sadness inside. She wanted to explain just how much this doll meant to her, but the words caught in her throat. This was the most special gift from her mother, something she cherished deeply, and she had put all her heart into giving it to Snowy. Yet, Snowy's faint disappointment cast a quiet shadow over Sunny's heart. As the children's laughter grew louder, Sunny lowered her head in embarrassment. A few of them, seeing the worn doll, cast mocking glances at her, whispering among themselves. She had never imagined her gift would get such a reaction. This old doll, given with all her heart, was deeply precious to her. Yet here she was, caught in the middle of misunderstanding, surrounded by laughter. Amid the laughter, even Snowy lost her patience. Holding Sunny's gift, she She hesitated for a moment before walking briskly toward the garden gate. Under the astonished gaze of everyone, she opened the gate and tossed the old doll out onto the grass. Sunny watched her friend's actions, feeling a painful ache in her heart. Seeing her most cherished gift dismissed so easily hurt deeply. Sunny slowly walked over to where her doll lay on the grass. She gently picked it up, holding it close to her chest, and with tears in her eyes, began walking away without looking back. Her steps were slow and quiet. She no longer felt she belonged there. With a heavy heart, she set off toward home, alone. When she got home, Sunny closed the door and took a deep breath. As she entered, the ache in her heart wouldn't fade. She thought about everything that had happened. The funny yet painful situation at the birthday party replayed in her mind. The laughter of her friends and Snowy's reaction echoed in her thoughts. Suddenly, her mother's warm voice came to mind. No matter what happens in your life, never stop reading. You must become someone with a beautiful profession, she had said. As these words echoed in Sunny's thoughts, she felt the strength of her mother's belief in her. Education and knowledge were among life's most valuable treasures. Her mother always emphasized this truth. Thinking of these memories, Sunny began to feel stronger. Her mother's words reminded her that she needed to chase her dreams, even in tough times. She understood the importance of continuing to learn and opening the doors to a brighter future. Sunny kept her mother's words in mind and worked very hard. She immersed herself in books, focused on her classes, and aimed to achieve top marks in every exam. Over time, her determination and perseverance allowed her to attend many excellent schools. Each day, she learned more, gained new knowledge, and developed herself further. Eventually, she graduated with good grades. She felt proud of the knowledge and skills she had acquired. Now, she was one step closer to her dreams. Just as her mother had said, she had built a solid foundation for her future. The challenges she faced along the way had only made her stronger. One day, a letter arrived at Sunny's home. She felt a rush of excitement. It could be related to the job she had applied for a short while ago. Her heart began to race. In her mind, various scenarios played out about what the letter might contain. She was eager to find out whether she had been accepted for the position. Yes, Sunny had started working as a senior manager in a prestigious company. Her dreams had come true. Thanks to her hard work and determination, she had proven herself in a short time and reached this significant position. Sunny's life changed rapidly. Thanks to her successes in her new job, her social circle expanded and became wealthier. She was now living in a luxurious house with a swimming pool. The house featured a large garden, a comfortable lounge area, and an elegant swimming pool. Sunny's closest friend, Snowy, was unfortunately not doing well at all. Her father's company had gone bankrupt, fundamentally changing their family's life. While Snowy had grown up in a luxurious home, she was now forced to scavenge for food and live in an old, dilapidated house. One day, Sunny heard the story of a lonely cat living in a dilapidated house in an old neighborhood. This news left a deep impact on Sunny's heart. She immediately wanted to take action to find that cat and offer help. The thought of a small, helpless cat living alone pained her deeply. When Sunny arrived at the front of the dilapidated house, she encountered a familiar face at the door. It was her closest friend, Snowy. When Sunny saw Snowy, she suddenly didn't know what to do. A whirlwind of emotions surged within her. Happiness, concern, and guilt all collided at once. Seeing her friend in such a difficult situation deeply shook her. Feeling overwhelmed by her feelings, she decided to leave the area quickly. Sunny looked over at the passenger seat of her car and saw the toy doll that Snowy had given her years ago on her birthday. That doll had held special meaning for her, reminding her of their friendship and the wonderful times they shared. Sunny had kept it safe all this time. With tears in her eyes, she thought, this doll is a reminder of the old days. I'll give it back to Snowy. Maybe it will remind her to smile again. With her decision made, Sunny quickly turned the car around and set off towards Snowy. This toy would strengthen their connection to the past and revive their friendship. Sunny was eager to see the joy in Snowy's eyes once more.